Now, the Police Minister Bheki Cele is in Kwazulu-Natal, and this is ahead of the Constitutional Court deadline for the former President Jacob Zuma to be arrested today for contempt of court. Zuma was sentenced to 15 months in jail. Now, yesterday we saw at the Pietermaritzburg High Court that judgment was reserved in Zuma's urgent application to have his arrest stayed. We have our reporters, Linda Mnisi, who is outside the house of former president, and also we've got Karenda Jagmohan, who's stationed at the Westville prison, respectively. And let's touch base with them now. Let's start with you, Linda. Today is expected to be quite a big day. We did hear the Minister of Police saying that if he hears no word from the acting Chief Justice, that he will, by midnight tonight, be coming to Nkandla to arrest the former president, and thus giving effect to the order of the Constitutional Court. We saw this past weekend a hive of activity outside in Nkandla. What is it looking like today?
Well, right now, Tammy, I tell you what, things are back to normal. Normalcy has been restored in Nkandla.
All right, it looks like our audio there with Linda, not the very best. We'll try and correct that with you. All right, I believe he's audible. Let's go ahead.
1, 2, 3.
You can start again, Linda. Please go ahead, sir.
All right. Tammy, as you mentioned. All right. So it looks like normalcy has been restored here in Nkandla, Tammy. You know, residents and community members are basically going about their business, cars passing by, but we continue to see some of those stops by police searching at various entry points leading to the former president's house. That's about all that we're seeing right now in terms of, you know, the community and police activity. We do know, and we've received official confirmation that indeed the police minister is in the province. It's unclear yet when exactly that order will be executed, but we know that he has only a couple of hours left to execute that order. All eyes are at the former president's home, looking at what perhaps could transpire in the coming hours. There's been also reports around the minister visiting the home of the former president ahead, of course, of that arrest. But according to the police ministry, that is untrue. From what we hear from them, they say they don't know about that, saying that at this particular point they cannot say that the police minister will be going into the former president's home. But of course, quite interesting as well, from the ANC suspending disbanded MKMVA spokesperson Carl Niehaus. You'll remember that on Friday it was on these very same gates where he held a media briefing telling you know, the media about what their plan is. You'll remember him saying that we, as the MKMVA, will be forming a human shield to protect the former president. Were against his arrest. And yesterday, briefing the media, the DSG of the ANC, saying that those are utterances of terrorists, saying that you would be forming a human shield. And of course, also speaking about how they're denouncing some of those utterances that are made outside. In fact, it begs the question around, you know, her statement saying that those statements that are being made outside the former president's home do not represent a popular uprising, but has rather been engineered by some within the ANC. So it makes you question if Carl Niehaus is, of course, one of those people that are engineering this. But over the weekend also, suspended ANC Secretary General Esma Khashule saying that, telling members of the ANC rather, that if they are suspended, they shouldn't allow that. But of course, the ANC has said that they will engage him and ask him to explain as to what exactly he means by that. The ANC saying that it wouldn't give him 48 hours as per the ANC's constitution, because of course there are risks that he may continue uttering these words, and of course bringing the ANC's brand into disrepute. Tammy?
I wonder, Linda, as you're stationed outside in Nkandla, you had the opportunity to be there all of last week as well. Can you juxtapose the nature of the preparations that you witnessed last week ahead of this past weekend to what you've experienced and witnessed this week? What are the stark differences or similarities there?
Well, today is Wednesday, Tammy, and if we were to compare today and last week, Wednesday, there isn't really much of a difference given the fact that we started seeing a number of people arriving on Thursday. So what you're seeing behind me is really nothing unusual if you compare it to last week, Wednesday. The only difference that is there perhaps is when you look at in terms of police activity, there wasn't this much police activity. Police have refused also to share their execution plan, so we don't know how it will unfold at this moment.